Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, core of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Just going to do a little quick viewer request basically. So somebody requested on one of the group, they wanted to know what to expect currently, right? So obviously they saw yesterday's video and they were like, okay, what's the issue? What do we expect in the short term and in the long term, right? So I'm going to start off with the long term just to explain certain things to you. So we're looking at traffic zones, right, where we had most of the battle, up and down battle. So this is what we've tracked here. We said, okay, we've had majority of the problem here. This white line is showing us that we have to get above approximately 40,008, just call it 41,000, which is this particular point here, right? So if you see, this is the point here. Current situation we've got is traffic zone here, and obviously following previous traffic and support, right? So, you know, support and resistance zone, you can see that this is where we're kind of holding support right now. I've also got two different Fibonacci lines, and I'll explain that to you later, right? So we've got the current zone where we are and where we need to get above, right? So we're going to be having a little battle around here. These are each daily candles, you can see, and this is a long term, right? So long term, you can see that we have to get above and come back into this particular range, which is a very, very high price compared to where we are today. So we've got to go up about 20, to that 47,000 mark in order for us to go above. And what we're doing here is, you can see, as long as we go above the Fibonacci 0.5, which is 46,813, it's an approximation, and then we enter this golden zone, we should be back to normality, right? Until then, everything is still bearish because we have this one great trend line that I've been talking about, which is this particular trend line here. If you put it here, you can see this is a great trend line. It's a downward trend line, which we are seeing. So this is the level we need to break above, right? Once we break above this, then we're fully confident and we can confirm and say, right, we're going to stay above this, we should be back to normal. Until then, every one of these lines, so this is the wedge we talked about yesterday, unless we break this wedge, and the beautiful thing about this wedge is, if we break it today, we have to see a 38k. If we break it, say for example tomorrow or day after, whatever, each day we go, it actually comes lower and lower until we come into this particular zone here, which is where we found the current support. As you can see, wick below, big support on the body, and then this is where we are today, right? Now, if I take some of these drawings off, I'll show you more. So let me take this Fibonacci off. I hope you understand what this Fibonacci is showing. This is a longer term, right? So let's take this off. Now let's look at the shorter term Fibonacci to see the worst case scenario. What are we looking at? So we're following this wedge, and we're saying, okay, if we do have battles within this wedge, and let me get rid of this box because you don't need this box. You don't need this box either. Let's just get rid of it for now, right? So just to show you a clearer chart. So what we've got is this particular zone here, which is in between these two Fibonacci's, right? So we've got a Fibonacci 786 and a Fibonacci thing. We've got the golden area here. We're currently peaked above the golden area, but we got rejected, and we're being held below this golden, inside this golden zone. So technically we're held inside this golden zone. So what I'm expecting is we might go up and down, up and down. You might see this, and everybody might get all bullish, and these are the guys who are impatient, who think they're going to make money tomorrow. You're going to see this, right? But anybody who's patient, we could expect to see it come to this particular level here, which is the 25k. We might see this particular range from the 28 to 25k, and then we could see the breakout. And if we do see this breakout, then we re-enter this particular zone. I mean, we could have a scenario where we break out now, but I've got a highly, looking at the things, you can see that it is kind of extended, and this is a mega downward trend. So there's a long way to get back up there. We're not going to see 20k in one day. I mean, that would be a miracle if we did, right? And nothing's out of the possibility, right? It is absolutely possible to happen. So depends on this particular area. We need to hold these fib lines, very important, right? And if we do break above this line, what we're going to see is, we need to stay above this trend line, whatever happens, and then we need to go above this trend line as well. So this is another slight different variation. It's not even a trend line, it's just the triangle pattern that I drew yesterday. This is, as you can see, it's just a triangle, right? So we want to see this pattern where we bounce around this and create higher highs, right? So far we've got two higher highs, which is good, but ultimately we're still way below this high. So we need to get back to this line. Sorry guys. So we need to get back to this line. So in the meantime, short term, we will see bounces around here, and we could even expect to see around here. Now, I wouldn't I wouldn't go around and, be prepared to buy here. This may never happen. You have to understand, this may never happen. This is why I said in yesterday's video, I said anywhere around this, from this particular level. So, when we're looking and we're saying anywhere around this zone here, it's a perfect buying opportunity, as long as you are prepared to hold for 5 years. If you're not, guys, then there's no point in you being in the game. You might as well wait for the market to come back to the 47, and then we go bullish and play the bull run. You want to make money, go in the bull run, make the money. But this is a bear run, right? So I'm not going to make anything else. I did make another video, but I'm not going to publish that. I got disturbed halfway. I had a call, and I think the video got messed up, so I'm not going to bother with that one. But just look, this is what we're expecting right now. We're going to hover around, bounce around these lines until we break above, but I don't think we're going to break yet. I think we've still got a few more days, and the worst case scenario, if we do fall within this channel and constantly bounce up and down, we should come into this particular zone. This would be a perfect buying zone. After that, then we might see a trend reversal. If we do see the trend reversal, either way, what we need to see is we need to hold these fib lines, right? So each time we go up, we need to hold this fib line. So we might see something like this, something like this, something like this, keep on trying. So as long as we're constantly trying up, we are bound to break. And then when you do, we need to hold these fib lines, right? And get above and hold these fib lines, right? Until we get to this area. But as I said, as this is extending and this is also extending, the break point is becoming lower and lower. Right, so the break point for us is the price is becoming lower and lower, cheaper and cheaper. That's what we need to focus on. It's going to be a great opportunity. So it's harder to break above here than it is here, if you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So, because the price is getting cheaper and cheaper for us to break above, it will be a lot more easier here to reverse the momentum and bring the market back up again. But I am expecting this over a long period, right? It could be days, it could be weeks, it could even be months, right? But we just have to currently just let the market do its thing. One of the other things to notice, right, and this is a very funny thing, this time last year, the whole market cap, this whole market cap was only around 200 or 300 billion, this whole section. So we're 1 trillion over year to date. Year to date, we're 1 trillion over. A lot of people are not noticing this. So is BTC holding? Absolutely. We've got 46 billion on BTC. Today, we've lost about $4 billion, which is okay. It's not a problem. You've got to look at all of these things. And remember, this always changes on the 24-hour level. So just patience. I wouldn't really bother too much. You can see still on the year to date, we're still above 15% above, which means around here, we're above. So a lot of stuff is going on, but yeah, last year, I think it was last year, was it last year or 2019, January, we were sitting around 120 or 30 billion dollars for the entire market cap, right? So these are big things you got to see. You got to understand that ultimately market right now is a lot more stable. It's above the $1 trillion. Obviously BTC has dropped below the $1 trillion. We need to get back above the 1 trillion. We are going to get there, but I think a lot of weak hands will be shaken out. A lot of people who have zero patience will be burnt out. So I feel sorry for them. But anyone holding, expect these, right? These moves are coming. Sorry guys, I got something stuck in my neck.